in talking with Big Ben over the past week, Big Ben said this would be his last game in Pittsburgh. Big Ben has been with the Pittsburgh Steelers since 2004. So this has been a long time. Now, he's alluded to retirement, but he also didn't say much if he could still play. I know he can still play. We've seen it. But I do think this has to be the end. To go out with some dignity. You're a two-time Super Bowl champion. You own all the records in Pittsburgh. This is the time to go. As he plays his final game in Pittsburgh versus the Cleveland Browns on Monday Night Football. A former Pittsburgh Steeler is done, however, in Pittsburgh now, and Tampa. As Antonio Brown walked out versus the New York Jets, he actually took his jersey off, his shirt off, his gloves, and he put them on the sideline and walked out of the stadium. And according to head coach Bruce Arians, AB is no longer a Buck. That was the final straw. They were talking to Tom Brady after they won the game in a game-winning drive. They talked to Tom during the press conference, and he said, "Look, we gotta give Antonio Brown some empathy. He's going through a lot. He's gone through a lot as well." I know he's gone through a lot, but think of the 4 teams he's been on. Pittsburgh, Las Vegas, New England, Tampa. These are places that are most respected franchises. Pittsburgh, you don't hear anything bad come out of Pittsburgh. Las Vegas was probably the most chaotic, I guess would be the best word. But not really. Nothing came out of it until he went there. New England, obviously we know Belichick does not allow any kind of information to get out. And in Tampa, where he was living with Brady, he got to win a Super Bowl. It's unfortunate. He has a lot of talent. Doesn't want to play. Rather do his own thing. Which is sad, but there's not much you can do. Moving to Mike Zimmer's cold answer for not playing Kellen Mond. A reporter asked Mike Zimmer, "Would you consider playing Kellen Mond in Week 18, knowing that they were eliminated from the playoffs?" Zimmer went and said, "Not particularly." I don't know if this is because he's trying to show, yes, I still have faith. Who knows if he'll be brought back as the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings next year. He missed playoffs the last 2 years and 3 of the last 4. This could be the end of Mike Zimmer as the head coach for the Minnesota Vikings. I want to talk about this because these are 2 rookies that really exceeded expectations, I think, heading into the year. That's Jamar Chase and Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts became the first tight end since Mike Ditka to eclipse 1,000 yards. So think, Mike Ditka played in the late 60s, 70s, and it took him that long to do it. Now Kyle Pitts, obviously he doesn't play like a tight end. He plays more like a wide receiver. They put him outside of the formation on a lot of plays. But he's so successful. As a rookie to get over 1,000 yards, it's impressive. Jamar Chase had 266 yards against the Chiefs. an incredible record, a rookie record. Had 11 catches for 266 yards. The Chiefs are obviously losing that game to the Bengals. Two great plays by two rookie players. It's amazing. So now, I want to talk about this, because this is very important. I am frustrated with the officiating this year. For the this past season, it's been worse than ever. We have the sky judge upstairs. We have all this. Yet the officials continue to mess up the calls. Last night, the Cowboys vs. Cardinals, there was a lot of flags. It got two. You can't be, the officials, you're supposed to just officiate the game. Stop trying to be involved throughout the game. There was too many. There was a play last night with Vikings vs. Packers where they called a pass interference, when really what happened was the corner and wide receiver's legs got tangled up and they both fell. That's not pass interference. The Cowboys vs. Cardinals game, they both got all. There was a lot of flags thrown, but mostly on the Cowboys, where the Cardinals were getting away with holding on Michael Parsons, Randy Gregory, and DeMarcus Lawrence. For the last year, they've been calling false start in the center if the center moves his head back and forth multiple times. If he does it multiple times, that's a false start in the center. That's the rule. Rodney Hudson, the Cardinals center, did it multiple times, never got flagged for it. DeMarcus Lawrence was upset. Randy Gregory was upset. Everyone was upset. But more importantly, near the end of the game, there was a fumble, a clear fumble. Chase Edmonds was running with the ball, didn't get out of bounds because he didn't have to. He was trying to keep the time moving. He ended up fumbling. Ball came out, clear recovery by Dallas. Officials called it, no, he's down, he's down. The Cowboys had no timeouts, but they were heading to the 2-minute warning. So they could have checked this like 3 times. You have the sky judge. Why didn't you use him? He could have easily buzzed down and said, no, that was a fumble. That was a fumble. He wasn't down. We have the 2-minute warning. Let's change it. That's what it's made to do. They didn't do it. Scott Novak and his crew have messed. The Cowboys have lost games due to officiating this year, but Scott Novak and his crew have had, when they've officiated Cowboys games, they've been the worst. Now, I'm not saying it's just officiating that happened. There was a lot of things going on. The play calling was bad. They kept trying to have Dak hold the ball for too long, and he couldn't get the ball out. And so he was getting sacked. There was blitzes. Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard dropping passes wide open. The protection was bad. Defense, they couldn't do much of anything because they were so tired. Greg Zuerlein missed another field goal. That can't happen. A 43-yard field goal, you missed it. In a game that you need to make everything count, you missed. That can't happen. Everyone's like, well, blame Mike McCarthy. He called the timeout. No. He called the timeout because he was trying to make sure that this stayed a 4th down. This was a 4th and 3. The Cowboys weren't able to get off the field the whole game. He had to call it. But it was a mix of play calling, bad execution, and officiating. That's the reason why the Cowboys lost the game versus the Arizona Cardinals.